Hey, I'm Travis here at Immortals Incorporated in Rocky River, Ohio, and I'm talking to the big boss man, Carlos. And today we're going to have a fireside chat about the Dungeon Master shortage and maybe encourage people to give Dungeon Mastering a try because it seems a lot scarier than it actually is.
Yeah, DMing, it's funny you bring that up. Is that one of their biggest problems is finding GMs or DMs to run games. And I think people, like we have a lot of players that love playing D&D. Well, I'll stick with D&D for right this second. But D&D, a lot of players, like, they want to play. We have a lot of players, and then we don't have a lot of DMs. And that's causing, we'll call it DM burnout. It's pretty funny because you go back there and the DM will have like 8 guys. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't keep running a table of 8 people. You're gonna burn out. No, I got it. And like a month later, you come in all disheveled.
Dude, their
twitchy,
eyes are like bagged to the bone.
Hair's all messed up.
Especially when it's not a regular group of people, like with our D&D Adventure League. It's like it's not,
you get different people at the table every week.
You get the randos that walk in, and you're like, oh, you know. And I'm not going to lie, some players are a little higher maintenance than other players. You know, like if we're playing a game, I'm like, whatever you want to do. I'm easy, you know.
Yep.
And then you have this gold piece weight is obviously over the top. We can't do it.
Actually.
It's never good. When you hear actually first, it's never good.
So I think that throws a lot of people off. And then there's a lot of humor in the role-playing world or media. Where
sure.
Like, what's that, Kovacic's...
John Kovalic.
Dork Tower.
Dork Tower.
Yeah,
yep.
The Dork Tower. He always does a lot of comics where the DM's like, or the players but those are
because he's got Igor.
Yeah. Those are the players he has, or the characters are like the worst personification of
they are
players and DMs and you know the friends, you know, and because it's for humor, you know.
Yes.
But it is funny. But yes, you do sometimes get burned out, and I think people see that and they think there's some great. You have to have some great abilities as an actor. Critical Role.
Yes.
Kind of like a lot of that stuff kind of give the false perception that you have to be a professional voice actor. You have to have all this flair and pageantry. And
it like unironically set a bar.
Yeah. And
it shouldn't have.
That's not at all what it is. Those guys are the exception to the rule of
yes.
DM. When you DM, you're just basically telling a story. You get in there, you play a story, and then you tell a story, and then you have a good time.
Your players need you.
Yeah, they need you. You know, they can go home and play nothing. They can play a solo adventure or something like that, but they want to interact. Like, you know, people want to interact with each other, and sometimes you have to get started. Just find a couple of friends that you play with, regular players you play with, and say, "Hey, I want to try and run something real quick. Do it low level. Have no high expectations of some grand adventure you're going to have. Just run something like." All right, there's a town and some goblins are causing a problem, and then go from there. You know,
right?
You don't get all crazy right off the bat first time, and then it's like anything else. You got to learn as you go.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is having not going nuts from the start.
Yeah, like,
really constraining what you're doing. Don't bring in every supplement that's floating around out there.
There's so many third-party supplements like simple adventures, or even one-page adventures or two-page adventures, and just do something simple, and maybe you'll like it, and then build from there. But don't. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with DMs is because you'll get a good DM. We have a lot of good DMs here, and even GMs, game masters, and they'll see that they're doing this. You know, like they're running these games and have all this thing controlling the players. Well, that takes time and practice, you know. Like I DM'd a group for years, and they were all good friends of mine. I was ready to choke every one of them by the end of it, you know. So, but you know, I had to take a break from it, you know. But I still, you know, I love them and I love playing with them, and it's like that's a lot of fun. But it's a learning curve.
I think one thing that I would say is people have this idea, have a mental image of how it needs to go, and it isn't. I don't care if you've been doing this for, Carlos and I've been playing these games for a long time. and even our games don't go quite the way we expect them to go. And some days you're just a little off, but guess what? Unless you're just like totally burning the building down bad that day, which even the worst DMs rarely are, your friends are still probably going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And all the things that you see that you maybe messed up on, they aren't going to see it, and they don't care. They just got to sit down and have a good time. So don't.
I've had games where
have this expectation, or don't put the expectation on your friends and the people you're playing with that they have this high level, that you're going to disappoint them somehow. Because the point of playing is just to play, not to produce this huge, ridiculous performance.
Yeah,
it's the fact that you're playing, you have succeeded. That's like the bot. That's the measure for success. Have people sat down together for 4 hours and played a game and had a good time doing it? Success.
Yeah, you're like the host of the party, is what you are. You know, you're like, hey, I'm gonna have a party, and this is what I'm doing, and you know, you tell it, and then, well, like you said, if you mess up some story or they don't get some story along the way, it doesn't matter. They're having fun with whatever they're doing, you know, and don't get frustrated by it as long as they're having fun. You know, if they become unruly or if they're not having fun, then that's possibly the only thing I'd say you would do wrong if your players aren't having fun, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? It's not your job. It's their job as much as yours to work together to have fun.
Yeah, it's a collaborative activity. It's a social activity, and everybody's responsible for participating and making the fun.
Yeah,
it is not entirely on the game master to produce fun for the group. The group has to. They're not a passive audience sitting there waiting. Entertain me.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, that's
a good point.
Yeah, you can't. You got to have players are as much responsible for making fun, having a good time. You know, that's why we're making fun of the excuse me guy. You know, he's no fun. You know, he's got to learn to be fun. If he's not, he's probably not going to be in the group. You know, so, and it's okay as a DM or GM if you're playing a game and somebody's not fitting to say, hey, maybe this is the best game for you. You know, it's like, or you know,
maybe we should go bowling on Saturday nights instead of playing D&D. You and I, we can go watch a movie together, but we can't do this.
You know, if you're friends, you know, if you're playing and your friends are your friends, they'll tell you, you know, hey, it's a terrible job you're doing there, or you know, hey, maybe you could, you know, do this better, or you know, players can help you along. You know, like I was,
you know, and there are a massive amount of certainly more than there was when I was a kid. There is a massive amount of resources online, both that you can purchase and for free, YouTube videos, all kinds of material to help you learn little tricks and techniques to improve. Really, but you don't improve unless you get started. And that's the biggest thing is really just understand that you can DM a game, and it's a lot of fun to do it. It's very rewarding. It is more work. I'm not going to tell you that it is not, because it is.
You actually have to read the adventure.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Understand.
Do research.
Yeah, do
research. Improvisation.
Yeah, improvisate. That's my worst part. I'm like, but or you know, the other thing you do is if you're having fun and whoever your DM is, just kind of copy him or her. You know,
that's how I learned.
Yeah, you know, like, oh, this person is really good at doing this. I like the way he does it, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to try it over here with my other friends, and just, you know, maybe there are things you could tweak that you didn't like he did, or you did like he did. You know, you tweak it as you go. You know, and then, you know, and that's how you learn. I mean, just almost like a learner's thing.
That's a great point too, because you know, if you want, hey, I want to be a DM. I'm going to keep playing my campaign with the DM I have, but I'm going to study him these next 4 weeks while I play. Mm-hmm. That's just a good way to build confidence.
Guarantee most DMs will, hey, I'm going to DM a game. They'll like coach you through, or, you know, like there'll be a mentor.
We got plenty here that'll coach you.
Yeah, they'll mentor.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in a group and you say to the game master, hey, I'd like to try running a game. Would you mind if during our normal game session one week, I just run a one shot. Most DMs would be like, "Oh, that would be swell."
Most DMs would be like, "Thank God, because I can't take it no more." No, I'm kidding. No. But yeah, they're good about it. So
yeah, I mean, we all want a little break every now and again, or just to play as a DM, especially if you become the fabled forever DM of a group, where you're just the person who runs the games for whatever reason, because you've built up the skill. Because it is a set of skills, and some people learn or get better at it than others. But it's because they've spent time doing it.
It's like I know, like I play. And it's almost hard for me to play because believe it or not, I'm a control freak. So I like DM, and so when I play, I want to be that guy. Like, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and what about? I got to stop myself. I'm like, no, just shut up and sit here. I'm a barbarian.
A friend of mine was running a game last week, and he was asking me like a rules question, and I'm like, well, this is what I would do, but that's not necessarily the correct answer. That's like an answer. It's one way you can do it. It's really like, how would you want to do it? That's hard to do as a game master, playing in somebody else's game. Like, I wouldn't do it that way.
But like, if you really enjoy playing, you should try. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it,
if you are really into role playing games, you're like, this is the best hobby ever. Mm-hmm. You should absolutely try game mastering,
because now you're telling the story, and you're part of the players now. And you are still part of the group, and you're just telling the story. And a lot of people can go back and forth and everything like that. You know, like, I'll be a player, I'll be a GM, and I enjoy being a DM or GM more.
I do too. I've gotten to the point now where I go to conventions and I just run games more than
Oh, that's another.
The only RPGs that I play in at conventions now are the ones that I run almost always. There are a few times where there's like some famous game designer that's running a game, and I'll get in on that. But usually, when I go to North Texas in a few weeks, I'm running four sessions, and then I'm playing a game of Avalon Hill Gladiator Tournament, because it's just a fun, ridiculous time.
Bizarre, but that's. I forgot what I was saying.
We drink too much whiskey and play.
Stay away from the whiskey when you're DM. Yeah, stay away from the whiskey and the unexperienced DMs.
Then they really start speaking in tongues. You're like, what the hell is
Gladiator's
this?
A little miniature skirmish game. It's a classic.
Yeah, it is. Game. Just try it. I guess in the bottom line, just give it a try. You never know till you try. You'll try it if you don't. If you're
baby steps.
Yeah,
baby steps.
Like I said, start small. There's no grand adventure you need to do.
There's no expectation. Going back to what Travis said on the expectation, it's like when you talk to somebody online and you expect what their face is going to look like, and then you see them and they do not look like anything you thought of. That's what DMing is probably like.
Yeah, yes, it would be, because it's like you don't.
We build such high expectations in our minds. Don't need to do that.
Don't do that, because you'll it's too much. It's like,
it's too much.
If you start off, like the example would be like, I don't know, you start off, you want to be a mechanic, or you want to start working on cars. You don't immediately go for the most expensive 69 Chevy.
I played in a Call of Cthulhu game once where the guy ran one scenario, and then he decided he wanted to run. He went like just a one-shot kind of game.
Okay,
and then he decided he wanted to run Masks of Nyarlathotep.
No.
And that was
I wouldn't even do that. Like, I'm just thinking about starting a Call of Cthulhu campaign with my wife and some other friends, and just debating on what. But I'm like, I haven't run one in a while. I've only run a few, and I'm like, no, we're going like the simple.
Yeah.
Ooh, deep one.
Oh, it's a cult.
Hell no. He's got a gun. But start like that. But just start small and give it a try. You'll find out you'll probably like it. And then get some good players around you, a couple good friends, players, and we'll go from there. If you like this content, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and as Mikey goes off about his join options.
Yeah, you could join us now. 3 different tiers. 3 different levels, 3 different levels of benefits, and you get to watch videos before everybody else. So I don't know. I think that's amazing. And it all goes to this room. So I'm going to go DM right now.